today for the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and XRP prices. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge one. This is a video I have never done in this shape or form. And today I want to show you some shocking evidence and proof which points towards a potential conspiracy in crypto, in Bitcoin. And many of you guys looking at the prices, looking at the Bitcoin chart, looking at the cryptocurrency altcoin charts, you've been probably asking yourself, what the heck has to happen for us to actually go up? Why are we not already at 120, 130,000 US dollars? We saw the inauguration of Donald Trump. We saw these amazing executive orders and everything coming into place exactly as we've been waiting for it. Why is the price still not pumping like crazy? I mean, it should, right? What if there is a conspiracy, a reason behind us struggling in the market, us chopping around, and us actually not going towards these highs as we would expect to go? Let me talk about it. Let me show you all the evidence and proof. And again, this is a very different video to those I am usually making. And if you like this investigative journalism and these kind of different videos, share the video and give me feedback in the comment section down below. And I really wanted to urge you also to watch this video until the very end, because I want to really jam-pack it with information and in the end give my own opinion as to what I think is going to happen to the market, as to what I think this whole thing should be looked upon. And of course, I want to give you a conclusion also in regards to my total 40 million US dollar trading portfolio. I have a hodling portfolio, which in my opinion is way more important. But on the trades, of course, I want to take action in regards to that. I want to put everything together, but I want to start just laying down the facts, laying down the information which I found in an objective and neutral manner, and then putting it all together and adding my own opinion towards it. And there will be some people who will not like what I am about to say, but please guys, listen until the very end. This is definitely very, very advised. So now let's talk about it. And yes, in the last night I actually lost 2 of my trades. 8 trades are still profitable. I will talk about that also. But let's get straight into it. And this is in some way directly or indirectly also about the Bitcoin reserve or the crypto reserve, I have to say right now. I mean, if we are looking at the executive order, Bitcoin was not mentioned at all, right? And some people are criticizing that. So what is the reason that we are not seeing what was actually announced earlier by Senator Loomis or Donald Trump, this Bitcoin reserve? Why is it now a crypto reserve? And is there something holding back an actual Bitcoin reserve to happen? And is that what the market doesn't like right now, why we are chopping around? Well, let's put it all together. And let me start with one thing, and please hear me out, guys. I mean, hear me out. First of all, I want to show you this tweet here from Andreas Antonopoulos, the biggest OG, the most amazing crypto content creator I could ever imagine. And literally, I'm telling you guys, this guy is awesome, right? And then coming something like this, I stumbled upon that yesterday, something like this coming from him from 11, basically, almost on the day exactly, 11 years ago in January 2014, where he was saying, Ripple shilling makes me sick. After this, I will personally make sure that Ripple is revealed as the centralized cop-out they are. So first of all, do I hate Ripple? No, not at all. I love the XRP family. The community is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, wow, they've been holding for years. And I think they all deserve this big pump, which was finally coming to that stable coin from 60 cents all the way up to $3. We were riding it all together. I was calling that pump at 60 cents. I was actually opening I bought for $2 million on spot. And I also traded it. You can see here $220,000 in profits. I took more than $1 million in profits on that trade. Then I have another trade here on Levex, $300,000 unrealized, $400,000 realized. I took half of my $10 million spot position out, $5 million. The other half, 5 million, I will show you the spot position later on, now rose to already $7 million. So don't get me wrong, I am so happy about the price pumping. I am so happy about all the gains the XRP family made. And if you ask me, I want them to continuously make gains, but I do feel obligated to talk about the information which were brought to me, which I found online. And of course, also recently, I've been in the World Economic Forum as a visitor. And of course, I want to put together all the information which I found and which I got, right? So let's start very slowly, right? You see, I'm not rushing in that video. I really want to make sure that everything comes together. Brett Garlinghouse, and again, I am putting everything together in a neutral way. In the end, I want to add my opinion. Brett Garlinghouse was posting, and when was that actually? Somewhere like 3 years ago. He said, Bitcoin is an exceptional store of value. It's just not ideal as payment mechanism because of proof of work energy cost, CO2 emitted. Estimates show a weighted average of carbon density of 480 to 500, like literally saying that Bitcoin is bad for the environment, it's a bad currency, it's a great store of value. This is how I would interpret this, right? And this was, of course, by far not the only post of him, not the only study they published. Like XRP is since a decade or so doing more bad publicity about Bitcoin than good publicity, right? This is just something which you could point out, and you can like it or not. Of course, me as a Bitcoin maximalist, I don't like it, but I am also for free markets, so I'm not against any cryptocurrency. Everything should come and go as the free market wishes, and that is my opinion. The same thing about expressing your opinions, expressing facts or opinions. Like, everyone should be free to do as they like, right? I like free markets. I like expression of opinions, and I hope everyone here in the comments does the same, because freedom is exactly what we should be striving for, right? Then let me go in here. So he was talking about that. Then we see many articles on the Telegraph, Forbes, New York Times, and all of that about Ripple basically in the last 10 years pointing out the flaws of Bitcoin, why Bitcoin is bad, why Ripple is environmentally more friendly, better than for a currency, and so on. And now in the last few days, we saw more and more voices over on Twitter, over on X, getting louder and louder, getting more and more impressions and views on their opinion against Ripple. We also saw David Schwartz from Ripple saying, just like 1.5 years ago, I hate Trump as much as everyone not too related to him, and I think the election fraud indictment is absurd. Well, you can think about that whatever you want, but if you look at Brett Garlinghouse's previous post, he was actually a big, correct me if I'm wrong, Kamala Harris supporter, and there was a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what I found, money flow from Ripple towards the Kamala Harris campaign, right? And now that Donald Trump, surprisingly, I don't know how much surprising that was, actually won, this money flow somehow changed. Ex post, like not the previous one, but the new money flow changed. And the lobbyism changed towards Donald Trump then, right? And let's go a little bit forward. What we can see, you know what? This is a lot of text, but just read through it. And it's basically also criticizing a little bit the way XRP is set up, right? And some people are saying that XRP is basically created their own currency and is now selling it into the public, right? Which you could check on chain whether they are doing that or not. And then, of course, XRP followers are saying that, hey man, that is not true. They bought these XRP themselves. But yeah, wow, this is loud. Come on, stop it. They did buy these XRP themselves, but they bought it, of course, for like very, very low cents on the dollar before it actually really got public, and they acquired, of course, this very huge stake in the very, very beginning. So it's always about the details, right? It's always about the details. So now you can see this is one of those guys who are getting louder and louder and getting more and more impressions. You can check him out on Twitter, and he's like really on a rant. He's really on a mission here. And he is sharing also here like some evidence as to why Brett Garlinghouse or like XRP seemingly wants to sabotage the strategic Bitcoin reserve. You can see that here. And now Jack Mallers was coming out yesterday with this big video, 5 million views, 24,000 I think at this point of time views, about as to why, I'm on my way to infrared, as to why this whole thing is a problem and as to why there's lobbyism happening, and I'm just quoting here, from XRP towards the new Donald Trump administration and towards the strategic Bitcoin reserve not being launched as to what it was originally intended to, but being launched as a strategic crypto reserve, so to speak. And this video is quite interesting. This is a Bitcoin maximalist over on YouTube and a Bitcoin entrepreneur. And I want to show you this little clip here. It's 5 minutes from Twitter. You can skip it if you just want to see my opinion, but I would really, really like to recommend you to watch the full 5 minutes before we are getting to the conclusion and actually what my plan is here in regards to that. I'm trying to pass the street. Look at this video here from Jack Mallers, which went completely viral yesterday. Look at this.
Okay, emergency press conference. Ripple is undermining American prosperity and freedom. I can confirm Ripple is actively spending millions of dollars trying to undermine a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the United States of America. This is not just an attack on Bitcoin, but on principles of transparency, on fairness, and on our national security. A Bitcoin strategic reserve would be one of the most important economic announcements in American history. I personally would put it on par with Nixon in 1971. However, it would be the first positive economic announcement that comes from the United States in the last 100 years. In 1933, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? We're confiscating your gold. In 1971, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? We're divorcing ourselves from the gold standard. We're divorcing ourselves from being governed by the immutable laws of Mother Nature so that we can debase your money and inflate your life. In 2008, the U.S. made an economic announcement. What was it? It was, we are bailing out and protecting private corporations, banks, and Wall Street at the expense of you, the public. If the U.S. goes on to make an economic announcement that is the support of a Bitcoin strategic reserve, it will not act against its people in the best interest of the public. It will do the opposite. This is a money that is owned, operated, and governed by the people. Governments and corporations own a fraction of this network. Who owns it? Who had first access? The people, the public. This is about being pro-industry, pro-jobs, pro-energy, pro-growth, pro-technology. This is about solving our deficits. This is about leaning into the future and investing in prosperity for generations to come. Equality, inclusion, the leader of the free world, adopting technology that promotes American ideals, a money that we don't control but that we support, that both aids to solve our country's biggest problems and promotes the world we want to see as Americans and its people. Now, Ripple. Ripple is a for-profit company. It prints its own token in XRP, and it is asking the US government to support its monopoly. I ask you this: why should the US government back a privately owned currency? This is corporate lobbying disguised as innovation. This is corporate lobbying disguised as tech growth, jobs, industry. Ripple created all of its currency, issued it to themselves, and relies on the public to buy it. This is not the money for the people. This is not in the best interest of the public. This is in the best interest of a private corporation. This is an economic announcement that would be like 2008, that would be like 1971, that would be like 1933. This is against what this new administration and President Trump stands for. This is against the best interest of the United States of America. It is absurd and ridiculous, and Ripple needs to stand down immediately. Not only are they undermining future prosperity in the United States, benefiting from the technological innovation that is Bitcoin, but they are also trying to take advantage of the situation and benefit themselves. Call your representatives and demand an investigation into Ripple's lobbying efforts. Tweet publicly. Post your comments publicly. I've begun fighting back. I will not stand for this. I am an American. I plan to have children and raise them in America. I will not let Ripple undermine our prosperity, freedom, and benefiting from Bitcoin, a neutral, fair money for the people, for the public. Because this isn't just about Bitcoin versus Ripple. It's about whether the future of money belongs to the people or to private corporations. And it is up to us to decide.
So I really hope you watched this one until the very end. And well, of course, you can go and make some investigation more as to whether the things he's saying is true or not, but you can see so many articles from like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. This one is from Bloomberg, where you can see Greenpeace crypto billionaire lobby to change Bitcoin code, and this is about the Ripple co-founder Larsen, which provides $5 million to finance the efforts. On Bloomberg. Then you can see here another one, Ripple's anti-Bitcoin campaign to promote CBDCs. So you can see a lot of lobbyism, a lot of PR directed, it seems like, towards Bitcoin or against Bitcoin, against the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And yeah, you can think about that what you want. If you ask me personally, I am not a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm holding altcoins. I'm even holding XRP. I showed it to you. But of course, my eventual goal with any altcoin purchase is just to get more Bitcoin. My only goal is to get more Bitcoin. And if you ask me, is there one asset you really believe in and you would hold for the next 50 years? My answer would be yes, and it's only Bitcoin. So if you ask me, of course, I would like an only Bitcoin strategic reserve much more. If you think about it, in 1971, when we took the gold standard from the US dollar, this was a big problem. Gold was a scarce good, a scarce asset, which every human, whether you are poor, middle or rich, at least to small quantities, could buy and preserve their purchasing power. Taking that away made the US dollar and other fiat currencies eventually a fiat currency where you can inflate the supply as much as you want and transform this whole thing into Keynesian economics, where you redistribute wealth from the poor to the middle class to the rich, right? So this, I am telling you guys, was a very bad thing. So a Bitcoin reserve would finally give the normal person again the chance to buy Bitcoin. Everyone can buy Bitcoin. You can buy it to very small quantities and preserve your purchasing power. If we are having a strategic reserve, all of that monetary energy and attention which would flow towards Bitcoin would get diluted. That is overall not a good thing, even though I mentioned in the last few days I am welcoming a crypto reserve, but to be honest, it is for the reason that yes, there are US-based altcoins I can make profits on, which these profits I would eventually take into Bitcoin anyways, so why even go that route, right? So if you are asking me overall, I want a Bitcoin strategic reserve, not a crypto strategic reserve. I just want to be outspoken towards that. And as horrible it is as it sounds to maybe some of you lovely altcoin community members here, I think in 1, 2, 3 years you will all look back and say, Chris, you were right. You were right. This is about so much more. This is about so much more. And I am not here to shoot against XRP. I just wanted to really show you the facts, show you everything which is being laid down right now. And I want to know from you, dear ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section down below, what is your thoughts about all of that? And more importantly, this video is simply just for information purposes. I would like to ask every one of you, I would truly appreciate it if you could share this video with your friends, if you could like this video, and if you could spread the news as much as possible. I will share the video wherever I can. This is a very important mission of mine. Thank you so much for watching. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. As always, guys, as always, bye.